Imagine waking up one morning and feeling a strange discomfort in your back. At first, you brush it off. Maybe you think it was just a bad night's sleep, or perhaps you carried something heavy yesterday. You try to ignore it, hoping it will disappear. But instead of going away, that discomfort grows. Slowly, it starts affecting your routine. You can't sit comfortably at work, you feel pain when you bend, and even small movements remind you something is wrong. What most people don't realize is that these small warnings could be connected to one of the most common spinal problems, a herniated disc. This condition doesn't appear suddenly like a car accident. It builds quietly, step by step, from habits we don't even notice. Sitting for hours without proper posture, lifting weight incorrectly, neglecting physical activity, or sometimes simply the natural process of aging, all of these can contribute. And because it develops gradually, many people underestimate it until the pain becomes so strong it interrupts their daily lives. That's why today's video is so important. We are going to dive into what a herniated disc really is, why it happens, how to protect yourself, and how to take care of your body so that this problem doesn't control your life. Now, picture your spine as a tower made of blocks. Between each block, there are soft cushions, the discs. Their job is to absorb shocks, give flexibility, and keep everything aligned. But when one of those discs is pushed out of place, the pressure can irritate nearby nerves, causing pain, tingling, or even weakness in different parts of the body. That's when you realize that the spine, something you rarely think about, controls much more of your life than you imagine. The tricky part is that a herniated disc doesn't only affect the back. Depending on where it happens, it can impact your arms, legs, or even your ability to do simple activities like walking, bending, or sleeping comfortably. That's why this is not just a back problem, it's a life problem. It interferes with work, relationships, mood, and even your confidence. And the sooner you understand it, the sooner you can protect yourself. Think about how often you spend hours sitting, hunched over your phone or computer. These moments may feel harmless, but every day they add stress to your spine. Your discs are designed to support movement, not endless stillness in poor positions. It's like bending a branch little by little, it doesn't break at first, but over time the pressure leaves permanent damage. This is how silent habits can create serious problems. And here's something that surprises many people: herniated discs are not only for older adults. Yes, aging can weaken discs, but young people are increasingly affected due to long hours sitting, carrying backpacks incorrectly, or living with little physical activity. This is not a distant problem, it's a very real one that can touch anyone, including you. But before we dive into prevention and care, let's reflect on why awareness matters so much. Too often, people only pay attention when pain becomes unbearable. They wait until they can't get out of bed, until walking feels impossible, or until they've lost months of productivity. But the truth is, most of these situations could be avoided if people understood the signs earlier. Pain is not an enemy, it's a messenger. And when your back sends you signals, ignoring them is the worst choice you can make. This video exists to help you build that awareness. To show you that protecting your spine is not just about avoiding pain, but about maintaining freedom, energy, and quality of life. Because when your spine is healthy, you move with ease, you feel lighter, and you live with more independence. And that is something worth protecting. Think for a moment about all the small actions you do every day that depend on your spine: bending to tie your shoes, picking something off the floor, carrying groceries, even breathing deeply. Your spine is involved in almost everything. That means that taking care of it should be as natural as brushing your teeth or eating well. Yet most people only think about their back when it hurts. By then, damage has already started. In this journey, we will explore not only the risks of a herniated disc but also the most effective ways to prevent it and the care you can adopt daily to protect your spine. You'll see that small changes in posture, in routine, and in mindset can make a huge difference in your future. Prevention is not about living in fear, it's about living smarter. It's about giving your body what it needs so you can enjoy life without being limited by pain. Stay with me until the end, because every piece of knowledge you gain here is a step toward a stronger and healthier spine. By the time you finish watching, you'll see your back not as something fragile to fear, but as something powerful you can protect and strengthen. And from this moment on, I want you to commit to one simple idea: do not ignore your back. Listen to it, respect it, and care for it. Because the choices you make today will decide how you move tomorrow. Now that you understand how a herniated disc develops and why it can affect so many areas of your life, let's go deeper into the risks. Because one of the biggest mistakes people make is underestimating what this condition can lead to when it's ignored. Pain is usually the first sign, but it's far from the only one. Depending on the location of the hernia, you might feel weakness in your arms, tingling in your fingers, or even difficulty lifting simple objects. If the hernia affects the lower back, the pain may radiate down your legs, making it difficult to walk or stand for long periods. These are not just annoyances, they are signals that your nerves are being affected, and when nerves are irritated for too long, recovery becomes much harder. The risks go beyond physical pain. Chronic discomfort changes the way you live. Imagine not being able to sit through a workday, or having to say no to activities you once enjoyed, like playing with your children, exercising, or even traveling. Over time, this constant limitation affects your mood, your relationships, and your confidence. And this is where many people start feeling trapped, as if their own body has betrayed them. But the truth is, most of these scenarios can be prevented with awareness and consistent care. Another risk that often goes unnoticed is how a herniated disc affects posture. When your body tries to compensate for pain, it creates imbalances. You may lean to one side, tighten your muscles unconsciously, or avoid certain movements. Over time, these compensations cause strain in other parts of your body, hips, knees, shoulders, and suddenly, a problem that began in your spine spreads to multiple areas. This domino effect is one of the reasons why untreated back problems are so disruptive. But here's something important: not every herniated disc causes pain immediately. In some cases, the disc is out of place but doesn't yet press directly on a nerve. This creates a false sense of security. You feel fine and think everything is normal, but the problem is silently progressing. Then one wrong movement, lifting a heavy box, twisting suddenly, or even sneezing in the wrong position, can trigger intense pain that feels like it came out of nowhere. That's why prevention is so crucial. Waiting for pain to show up means you're already late. So, how do we prevent it? The answer begins with habits. Your spine loves balance and movement. The more you keep it active and supported, the less strain falls on your discs. Regular exercise, especially activities that strengthen your core, the muscles around your abdomen and back, creates a natural shield that protects your spine. Think of these muscles as the frame of a house. If the frame is strong, the walls stay in place. If the frame is weak, the structure collapses easily. Your spine needs that support every day. Posture is another key player. The way you sit, stand, and move either protects your back or puts it at risk. When you slouch in front of a screen, your discs are compressed unevenly. When you lift something heavy by bending your back instead of your knees, the pressure on your discs multiplies. Small mistakes repeated daily create big consequences over time. But here's the good news: small corrections can also create big improvements. Sitting with your back supported, keeping your feet flat on the ground, standing tall with shoulders relaxed, these simple changes help distribute weight evenly and keep your discs healthier. Rest also matters. Many people underestimate the role of sleep in spinal health. A mattress that is too soft or too hard, or pillows that don't support your neck properly, can strain your back night after night. Over time, this contributes to discomfort and makes your spine more vulnerable. Investing in proper rest is not a luxury, it's part of prevention. Because while you sleep, your body repairs itself, and your discs rehydrate and recover from the stress of the day. Without quality rest, they remain weak and dehydrated, making them more fragile. Another point we can't ignore is weight. Carrying excess weight, especially around the abdomen, increases pressure on your spine. Every step, every movement, becomes harder on your discs. That's why maintaining a balanced lifestyle with healthy food and activity is not just about appearance, it's about protection. Each extra kilogram adds to the strain your spine has to endure daily. Reducing that strain makes a significant difference in how your back feels and functions. Of course, life is full of surprises, and sometimes even with the best habits, problems can arise. Genetics, accidents, or aging can all play a role. But here's the empowering truth: while you can't control everything, you can control a lot. By adopting preventive habits, you reduce risks dramatically. And if something does happen, your body will be stronger and more prepared to recover. One of the biggest challenges is consistency. People often start with enthusiasm, correcting their posture, exercising, paying attention, but after a few weeks, they go back to old habits. That's why prevention needs to become part of your identity, not just a temporary effort. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Every small positive choice accumulates. Each time you sit correctly, each time you strengthen your core, each time you stretch instead of slouch, you are building protection for your spine. And here's where awareness makes all the difference. Prevention is not about adding more tasks to your day. It's about doing what you already do, sitting, walking, lifting, in a smarter way. It's about choosing better positions, better movements, and better care. These are small adjustments that, when repeated, create long-term safety. The risks of a herniated disc are real, but they are not a destiny. They are possibilities you can influence. And the sooner you act, the greater the impact. This is not about living in fear of what might happen, but about building confidence in what you can control. So, as we move forward in this journey, keep one idea in mind: your back is not fragile, but it does require respect. It has carried you through every stage of your life, and it will continue to carry you into the future. The care you give it today is the investment that will decide how free and active you remain tomorrow. We've talked about what a herniated disc is, why it happens, and the risks it brings if ignored. We've also explored the habits that can protect you and reduce the chances of developing one. Now, it's time to close this journey with what matters most: long-term care. Because protecting your spine is not just about avoiding pain today, but about building a future where you can live with freedom, strength, and confidence. Taking care of your back starts with awareness, but it doesn't end there. It's a lifestyle, a set of choices you make every day. Think of it as a partnership with your body. Your spine is always working for you, holding you upright, helping you move, supporting you in every action. In return, it needs your attention and respect. When you create a routine of care, you are not just preventing problems, you are also honoring the role your spine plays in your life. Movement is one of the best forms of care. Your spine thrives when you keep it active. Long hours of sitting or lying down weaken the muscles that support your discs. But regular, gentle movement strengthens them, keeps your joints flexible, and reduces pressure on your back. This doesn't mean extreme workouts or lifting heavy weights, it means consistent, safe activity. Walking, stretching, swimming, yoga, these simple movements are powerful tools to keep your spine healthy. When your muscles are strong, your discs don't carry the burden alone, and that makes all the difference. Breathing also plays a surprising role. Deep, conscious breathing engages your diaphragm, which works together with your abdominal and back muscles to stabilize your spine. Shallow breathing, on the other hand, leaves your core inactive and weak. Taking moments throughout the day to breathe deeply doesn't just calm your mind, it also helps create natural support for your back. Another key part of long-term care is listening to your body. Pain is not an enemy, it's a signal. If your back hurts, don't push through blindly. Instead, pause and ask yourself why. Did you sit too long? Did you lift something incorrectly? Did you skip your stretches? Each pain is feedback, an opportunity to adjust before things get worse. Ignoring pain is like ignoring a warning light in your car. You might keep driving for a while, but the longer you wait, the more serious the damage becomes. Now let's talk about daily habits. Simple choices have lasting effects. When you pick up something from the ground, do it by bending your knees, not your back. When you sit, keep both feet flat and your back supported. When you stand for long periods, shift your weight from one foot to the other or use a small support under one foot to reduce strain. These little details may seem small, but they prevent years of accumulated stress. Hydration is also often overlooked. Your spinal discs are made mostly of water. Throughout the day, they lose hydration as they absorb pressure, and during sleep, they rehydrate. Drinking enough water supports this natural process, keeping your discs more resilient and less likely to degenerate. Something as simple as staying hydrated every day can be a powerful form of care for your spine. Nutrition plays a role too. Foods rich in vitamins, minerals, and anti-inflammatory properties help keep your body strong and reduce the wear and tear that affects your spine. Balanced meals not only give you energy but also provide the building blocks your discs and muscles need to stay healthy. A strong body supports a strong back. But long-term care isn't only physical, it's also mental. Stress creates tension, and tension often accumulates in the back and shoulders. When you live constantly stressed, your muscles stay tight, pulling on your spine and making it more vulnerable. Finding ways to manage stress, whether through relaxation, hobbies, meditation, or simply taking time for yourself, is also part of protecting your spine. A calm mind leads to a relaxed body, and a relaxed body supports better spinal health. One of the greatest gifts you can give yourself is consistency. Caring for your spine doesn't have to be complicated, but it does have to be regular. A few minutes each day of stretching, correct posture, and mindful movement create a foundation of strength that will serve you for decades. Think of it as an investment. Each good habit is like depositing a coin into your health bank, and over time, the value grows. Imagine yourself in the future, 10, 20, 30 years from now. Do you want to be someone limited by back pain, unable to enjoy life fully? Or do you want to be someone who moves freely, travels, plays, and lives without fear of injury? The answer depends on what you do today. Your spine will carry the consequences of your choices. And you have the power to decide which consequences they will be. Remember, prevention and care are not about perfection. They are about small, consistent steps. Even if you can't change everything at once, start with one habit. Maybe it's sitting with better posture, maybe it's drinking more water, maybe it's walking a little each day. Over time, those habits add up. And the earlier you start, the greater the protection you create for yourself. So as we close this video, I want you to take one promise with you: never ignore your back. Give it the care it deserves, the attention it needs, and the respect it has earned. Because your spine is not just a part of your body, it's the foundation of your freedom, your movement, and your quality of life. From this day forward, let awareness guide your actions. Choose prevention, choose care, choose consistency. Because when you take care of your spine, you are not just avoiding a herniated disc, you are choosing to live stronger, healthier, and freer. And that choice is one of the most valuable investments you can ever make in yourself.